Take the buttery, flaky layers of a classic French croissant, subject them to the high heat compression of a waffle iron, and you get the Croffle. This structural fusion creates a distinct advantage. The waffle grid presses those delicate pastry layers into deep, rigid pockets, perfectly engineered to catch and hold syrups and sauces. In this tutorial, we are going to build two distinct variations to prove how versatile this base really is: a sweet pistachio cream classic and a rich, savory ham and cheese melt. All you need is 5 minutes and a package of store-bought dough to engineer a cafe-quality pastry that maximizes both texture and flavor. Step 1 is sourcing your base. For maximum efficiency and consistency, you want to use pre-made frozen or refrigerated croissant dough. Before we bake, the dough requires a strict thawing protocol. You need to let it rest at room temperature inside an airtight container until it becomes completely pliable. Warning tone: do not try to rush this process in the microwave. Premature heat melts the butter trapped between the dough layers, destroying the delicate lamination before it ever reaches the iron. Once the dough is soft, roll it evenly through a shallow dish of either white or brown sugar crystals, ensuring every side is coated. This exact combination of cold prep and an even sugar coating is the non-negotiable foundation for achieving a caramelized, glass-like crust. Now, preheat your waffle iron strictly to medium heat. Wait for the indicator light to confirm it has reached the target temperature before you proceed. Placing raw dough onto a cold iron is a guaranteed way to ruin the bake. Without immediate heat, the pastry absorbs its own fat rather than searing, leaving you with a greasy, heavy finish. When that coated dough hits the iron, the physical transformation is instant. You immediately see the butter bubbling aggressively, while thick steam escapes the sides. Firmly press the lid down, lock it into place, and set a timer for exactly 3.5 minutes. Inside that iron, two forces are competing. The internal dough layers are rapidly expanding from the heat, but they are trapped by the exterior sugar, which is caramelizing into a hard shell. Mastering this specific thermal window is the exact difference between serving a piece of soggy bread and a perfectly crisp croffle. As soon as the timer goes off, extract the golden pastry immediately. Use a pair of tongs because that caramelized sugar is boiling hot and will stick to your fingers. Transfer the hot croffle directly onto a suspended wire cooling rack. Do not stack the croffles on top of each other, and do not plate them flat on a solid surface. Doing so traps the heat underneath, creating condensation that will instantly destroy your crispy crust. If you listen closely as it sits on the rack, you can actually hear the faint crackle of the melted sugar hardening as it meets the room temperature air. Patience during this brief cooling phase locks in the structural integrity required to support heavy toppings without buckling. Now we can move on to the build. We'll start with the sweet profile, which is designed to test how well this pastry holds liquids without losing its crunch. Add a heavy dollop of whipped cream from a chilled metal bowl, scatter some crushed pistachios, and finish with cascading maple syrup. Next, we pivot to the savory construction. For this one, we treat the croffle entirely like a piece of sandwich bread. Slice the cooled pastry in half horizontally and stuff the center with folded ham and a high-melt cheese, like a sharp Gruyere or an Oka. The savory payoff is immediate. When pulled apart, the steamy, flaky interior layers separate to reveal a massive, gooey cheese stretch. Because of its unique architectural strength, the croffle balances both dense, wet creams and heavy melted fats without collapsing. In just a few easy steps, you've taken basic ingredients and engineered a high-texture culinary experience. If you're entertaining, you can scale this up into a full croffle bar. Just lay out a spread of naked, crispy croffles, flanked by various bowls of fresh berries, melted chocolates, and cheeses. Looking at these pink, green, and brown glazes, it's clear you can experiment far beyond the basics. By incorporating trending global flavors, you can use these hybrid pastries as an artistic canvas. We want to see what you come up with, so share your own unique flavor combinations and ingredient hacks in the comments below. The croffle is a permanent, brilliant technique that elevates home baking by marrying absolute simplicity with supreme indulgence.